As summer changes to fall here in Missouri, Farm Bureau has been busy. We recently awarded Courtney Sorrell of Green Ridge, Missouri, a brand new John Deere riding lawnmower. The mower was provided courtesy of Missouri Farm Bureau as a way to promote our member benefits with John Deere tractors. Farm Bureau has been presenting one lucky winner from the Missouri State Fair a brand new mower for over 25 years.
September's been a busy month for urban outreach to help people make the connection to agriculture. We started out with 2 events sponsored by the Gateway Advertising Committee, which is a group of Illinois and Missouri Farm Bureau members that work together to support programs in that urban area. So we had the annual event at the Magic House. Although it was a rainy day, we had hundreds of children there coming in to help them and as well as their parents make that connection. So we had a fun day there, and then the following week, we did our 2nd annual Grow, Harvest, Gather event at the St. Louis Science Center. It was a beautiful day to have parents there and bring their children. They could see things growing, they could see live animals. For many of them, it was their first opportunity to make that connection to agriculture. So we had a number of events set up. They got to ride tractors, real tractors. Case Magnum tractors were on site, and that was a thrill for so many of the children. Last week was a Kansas City American Royal event. Over 6,000 students came through and had an opportunity to visit exhibits and learn about agriculture and how it's important to them. The particular event I did was on grain, so I showed them corn, wheat, and soybeans and made the connection to things they use every day, food and non-food items that come from those particular grains. So it's been a fun month to help share the message of agriculture, and we're looking forward to more exciting things in October.
The Foundation Golf Tournament was held at the Jeff City Country Club on August 27th. We had 27 teams who braved the heat for a great time. Our golf tournament in 2019 will be held on June 3rd. Please save the date.
In September, Farm Bureau hosted the Rural Issues Seminar here at the home office in Jefferson City. For this event, we invited any candidates running for office in the state of Missouri to come for the day and learn about what is important to rural Missourians. Throughout the day, we heard from guest speakers as well as Missouri Farm Bureau staff. Topics ranged from the state's finances to Missouri's feral hog problem. At the end, everyone walked away with a better understanding of the issues that rural Missourians face.
Thank you to every County Farm Bureau who participated in this year's 2018 policy development process. We appreciate each of your counties submitting resolutions for consideration by our State Resolutions Committee later this month. The State Resolutions Committee will meet to consider all resolutions submitted by counties and propose a slate of resolutions to be considered by our voting delegates at our 2018 annual meeting in December. Watch for the fall issue of Show Me Magazine to see the proposed slate of resolutions that will be up for consideration. We're very pleased to see that Canada was able to come to the table on a newly renegotiated version of the North American Free Trade Agreement. In early September, the U.S. and Mexico announced that they had reached a preliminary deal on the renegotiation and gave Canada until September 30th to join the agreement. Late in the hours of September 30th, Canada did come to the table, and the proposed text of the agreement should be available this week. We're very pleased to see that Canada has agreed to some concessions on their dairy policy, which was a top priority for U.S. negotiators. We look forward to seeing all the details of the agreement and allowing our U.S. trade officials to focus on additional problems in international trade around the world, including renegotiating in current markets and opening new markets for the agriculture industry. Unfortunately, September 30th was also the deadline for passing the 2018 Farm Bill. The previous Farm Bill actually expired the evening of September 30th, so many farm programs are in question on how they might receive funding moving forward. Fortunately for farmers and ranchers, many important programs such as crop insurance and Title I programs do not lose funding until the end of this year, so there's no need to worry at this point. We are hopeful that Congress will meet again to consider a potential conference report after the 2018 election and have a farm bill passed before the end of the year. While your representatives and senators are at home during the month of October and part of November, Please reach out to them to convey your support of the 2018 Farm Bill and passing a bill before the end of the year.
We've seen several developments pertaining to regulatory reform over the past recent weeks. The Waters of the United States rule, as we know, is in the process of being repealed and rescinded. But if you haven't seen Eric Bohl's commentary with regard to an update, there is some interesting information there about some action in court in several states where the Waters of the United States ruling has gone into effect. And we are working with American Farm Bureau to try to keep that ruling from going into, or keep that rule from going into effect in more states. Also, with regard to air quality, the Trump administration has put forward a plan for air quality that would replace the Clean Power Plan, and it would take a much more advisory approach to allowing states to enact their own air quality regulations. With regard to trucking requirements, hours of service, and the CAFE standards, the fuel economy standards, are both under review at this point by the administration. And then with regard to the Endangered Species Act, there have been some recent proposals where the Fish and Wildlife Service is recommending a different approach to designating critical habitat, which would allow landowners more flexibility. Finally, the area of stream bank stabilization is a project that is still in the works. We had an opportunity to visit a site on the Elk River with members of the State Board of Directors in conjunction with the board meeting held in Neosho. And the Nature Conservancy has quite an extensive project going there that they wanted to have an opportunity to show to us to see what is involved in what they call their bioengineering techniques. And this particular project is an expensive project which doesn't necessarily translate directly to what an individual landowner might be able to do on their own property, but it does show some new techniques that might need to be considered in the course of our work with the Corps of Engineers and other agencies to try to get more flexibility to allow landowners to manage their stream banks in a way that doesn't necessarily require a permit or oversight by a government agency. There's also progress being made with the Corps of Engineers in our attempt to get some pilot projects underway in the central Missouri area, and also with the Fish and Wildlife Service, which is also planning to have some public meetings on projects pertaining to the lower Osage River.
That's it for this edition of Farm Bureau Focus. Join us next time for all of your Farm Bureau news.